I'm going to talk today about P2PVPS Marketplace, which is an open source project, but PureLink is a company that I would like to form around the open source project. So if any of you are familiar with Protocol Labs and IPFS, it's sort of the same business model. Protocol Labs is a for-profit business that oversees the IPFS, which is an open source standard. So what is P2PVPS? In a nutshell, it allows people to rent out spare computing power in exchange for cryptocurrency. So that's the main takeaway here. And so it's an acronym. P2P stands for peer-to-peer, so think like Bitcoin or Bitcoin. It's a peer-to-peer application. And a VPS is virtual private server. So it's virtual, it's abstracted from the hardware, it's private, you get it all to yourself, and it's a server, so it's capable of serving web pages and web apps. So if you take a look at the VPS industry right now, these are some of the big players. There's a lot of money here. It's growing fast. These are some of the companies that I would love to disrupt someday. And here are some of the typical applications that VPSs are used for. The reason why they're so valuable is because a VPS is a general purpose server. It can be a VPN server. It can be an email server. It can be, it can host blogs. The ones in bold here are more of the peer-to-peer applications coming out today. Some of these companies I'm trying to partner with. So we have two hardware targets. The first is the Raspberry Pi. So those who don't know what a Raspberry Pi is, it's a credit card size mini computer, costs about $35, funny name. But they were developed, the point is that there's over 25 million of them out in the wild, so there's this like huge latent network. And the other reason why they're important is that it's a proof of scaling. If our software can run on top of Raspberry Pis, then when you scale it up to a big computer, it's not even going to know it's there. And also, because a Raspberry Pi and typical IoT devices use SD cards, you don't really need to know any software. You can say, Grandma, you want to get into cryptocurrency? Here's this little black box. Plug it into your router. Here's the address where the money's going to get deposited. But the other hardware target is virtual machines. So VirtualBox is a free piece of software out there. Runs on all the major operating systems, and you can run Ubuntu Linux on there. And that's the real way of scaling, because you can run anywhere from 4 to 24 servers on one physical machine by doing it that way. So those are the two hardware targets. So all the successful peer-to-peer distributed applications out there have a few common traits. One of them is that they incentivize every actor within the network, and they have no single point of failure. So we take that as kind of a blueprint for success, and that philosophy is embedded in every line of the code. So the big takeaway here is that P2PVPS is edge computing combined with sharing economy. Or another way to think about it is it's a server, computer server or internet servers without a data center. So what we need to do from here, this project's only about 9 months old, but the code is in alpha, it's out there. I'll put some addresses up here where you can check it out, but we really need JavaScript developers to just look over the code and tell us what sucks, and join our Slack channel, and just form a community around this. And we need business partners and we need investors. I'm a tech guy, need to find someone who wants to be a CEO, and other business partners, and at some point I'm going to need to find some seed investment. So I'll leave this up here while I take questions, but these are the important web URLs. The official website is P2PVPS.org. The test network is in .NET, so if you want to jump in and give it a go, it's available. And all the code is up on github.com/P2PVPS. You can reach me here, and you can reach the team at P2PVPS.org. I'd love to take some questions.
I just want to make sure I understand this correctly. It's basically you can rent your sort of computing power your local computing power for other people to use as a virtual server, but because it's also decentralized, if somebody's using my space, but my computer suddenly shuts down, they're not stranded, and suddenly their website is down or something, right?
It basically is, the experience is the same as the existing infrastructure. So if you've ever used any of the companies I have listed, like DigitalOcean, they're a really popular VPS provider. The experience is the same. The service is the same.
How do you prevent downtime if I'm not necessarily reliable? I'm not a giant company with a lot of servers and redundancies.
Right. So the way there is a rating system and an API. So when you choose the VPS you want to use, you match your requirements to like what's available on the market. And so people, their uptime, this isn't created yet, but it's in the roadmap, is each of the devices report back to their server and report their uptime, and they get ratings and metrics such as like the amount of memory, the amount of hard drive space. So all that stuff's on there, and then on the individual level, you can like browse through this list and pick the one you want. But if you wanted to scale that up, say to the enterprise level, there's an API for there will be an API for that. So you would simply like query the API for results, and then pick the ones that meet your requirements.
Question. I saw the website that said that you can earn currency by renting out space. What's the source of the cryptocurrency? Is that from elsewhere, or is it people mining on the VPS, or?
So if you've ever heard of, have you ever heard of OpenBazaar?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those who haven't heard, OpenBazaar is a peer-to-peer, think of it as like a distributed version of eBay. And it's been around for a couple years, and we highly leverage their technology. They have an API, so all of the actual exchange, like financial exchanges, happens through their wallet system and their store system, and that's really convenient because that's a lot of code that like I didn't have to write. And so it uses any currency that they use. So right now they use Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Zcash, and they're adding a lot more in the next few months. So it's whatever cryptocurrency you want to use, really. Yeah, go ahead, back there.
How do you keep it secure? That is, like, keep the host from accessing the data that's being hosted?
Say that again?
How do you keep the data secure between the actors?
Oh, so there's a lot of attack vectors, and it's hard to get into that without going too deep into the weeds. But the simple answer is it's not really secure in the way that a lot of the other companies that are trying to solve this problem, they're trying to do very secure, very cryptographic. And the thing is what most people either like choose to ignore is that even the big companies like Amazon or DigitalOcean or whatever, they can always be root and access your account. You know, there's no way to prevent them from doing that. And that's the same way in this way. So there are ways to do on-the-fly encryption. We're planning on doing for like small secure things like encryption keys. But I mean that's a threat whether you use this model or whether you use the industrial companies. But yeah, there's more details on that, but that's sort of the short answer. Well, I'm getting quacked, so thank you everyone.